Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the sexy ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. Welcome to the New World Podcast, brother. And I was always told, never drinking podcast. Am I drinking? No, not as the podcast is recording, but I took a shot. There's a Headbanger tequila out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Got it at the Chevron right up the road. And I was like, ooh, it's got a little bite. I love me some good tequila. I had to just wet the whistle a little bit before I went into the show, just because we're talking about Monday Night Raw. July 10th, 2023. Corey Graves, Kevin Patrick on commentary. We're in Buffalo, New York. What a Raw. This was a good Raw. I mean, and I will say this. I got to say this, man. I'm loving the Judgment Day more than anything. And I remember I wasn't really feeling the Judgment Day when in the incarnation of it, being of Edge. He was the leader. When they turned Edge out, turned on him and stuff like that, and that sounded dirty when they turned Edge out. I didn't mean to sound dirty. When they turned on Edge, kicked him out, I was like, okay, but as we've been going and we're developing everything to Rhea being mommy and Dirty Dom and the little bit of tension between Damian Priest and Finn Balor, it's clicking on all cylinders right now, and I fucking love it, man. We start the show with Finn. He's coming out. He's mad at Damian Priest. Rhea and Dom come out. They're like, yo, don't tell anybody our business. My favorite part is when Finn's like, well, and Rhea just grabs him. He's like, yo, stop, and they're the thread for this show. We don't need to have the bloodline be the thread of both shows now. Now we got the Judgment Day, and that's what I really like about this. Seth Rollins comes out, interrupts, and we got another match with Dirty Dom and Seth Rollins, and because Finn left the ring, it's Rhea and Dom, and Seth comes out, and they have their little thing, and Seth is eating wings and stuff like that. It was awesome, because he's in Buffalo and he has to eat some buffalo wings. First match of the night, Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle versus Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. Not Gio Vinci or whatever Matt Riddle says later on in the show. With Gunther outside, Imperium, the ring general. Great match. It's good to see Drew McIntyre back. I remember, what's so funny is I remember when I did a thing, and it was a TikTok. It's on the podcast itself. I remember saying, how crazy would it be if Drew McIntyre showed up at all in Wembley Stadium? He's done everything he needs to do in WWE, blah, blah. Oh my God, the amount of people that came after me about that. No, you need to go AEW. We know you're all in AEW. Cool. I was like, whoa, I was just saying, how cool would it be in Wembley Stadium for Drew McIntyre to come out and on an AEW show, but no, that was... we'll put that away. He's meant to be in WWE, and him and Riddle make a great team, and they took out Imperium for this match. Next, we have Judgment Day backstage. They're talking business. Finn and Damian kind of like they're like, okay, we're at peace now. And Damian says something like, yeah, well, I got this and this. I don't know the exact line, but he said something to where I was like, what? And my wife was like, what? And then Finn's face was like, wait, what? We had the Bloodline package. My wife missed SmackDown with me last week, so I was like, hey, you need to watch this. You need to see what happens. And she's like, oh my God, the single tribal tier. I was like, yeah, that was some good stuff, man. I go, you're watching it in this 5-minute less package. This was 35 minutes of the show last week. So I'm glad they kind of condensed it for you to see, just so you can see him in that awesome tribal tier. We have Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins next. Lies. It was a trap. Here comes Finn. Here comes Damian. They attack. Then Owens and Sammy come out for the save, and it sets up our big 6-man tag team main event. The Dirty Dom has done it again. I love Dominic, man. And I love the fact that he as much as everyone's like, oh, Dominic's so bad, blah, blah, blah. He's playing all of you in that crowd. He knows to be like, well, God, he pulls it just at the right amount of time to let y'all boo. That is some brilliance, and I got to give it up to this kid for growing in front of us. He's with mommy. Everything's grand and good. We have Ricochet and Logan Paul up next, face to face. Ricochet comes out. And Logan Paul got a little bit of jabbing. And you know what's funny about this is I remember just hearing, and I'm sitting here watching this, and Logan Paul's coming out, and I just hear, Logan Paul's a bitch. And I'm like, what the? And I look over at my daughter, and she just smiles. I'm like, hey. I was like, and then my wife's like, yeah, he's a bitch. I was like, whoa, hey, I kind of like Oh, they both gave me the death stare. I was like, I couldn't like Logan Paul, but okay, whatever. I don't like Logan Paul outside the WWE. I like Logan Paul inside the WWE. So that's about it. You know, I don't drink Prime or anything like that. You know, I've tried it. It's okay. It's nothing crazy. I know he's under like a lot of stuff with Prime and whatever, but there's people out there that drink it, and I don't know. I want to stay out of it. I just heard too much like caffeine and shit like that. But let's get back to pro wrestling here. This is why we watch this, to get out of the real world. Ricochet has some jabs. Logan Paul's got some jabs on the mic. And Ricochet comes out. Bam! Superhero landing style. Logan's like, that was cool. But that's just another viral moment. Yeah, and he goes, I don't need that. Blah, blah, blah. So eventually we will see these two. And I think it's going to be at SummerSlam. And I think it's going to be a banger. Next up was another banger. Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark with Trish Stratus with the assists. And Zoe Stark wins. Well, she didn't assist. She got kicked in the face, causing the distraction for Becky Lynch, and Zoe got the pin. But that's a huge pin for Zoe Stark, to pin Becky Lynch in the ring and get a win. Huge. We have Seth and KO, Sammy backstage. They're hyping each other up. They're like, yeah, we're going to beat down, we're going to kick their asses. Yeah, the Judgment Day. Yeah. Stomp faces, plus skulls and everything like that. And I was like, yeah, got me all pumped up and jacked. Then we had, these sort of things kind of always like, this next thing here, the Maxine Dupree ceremony, her graduation for Alpha Academy and stuff like that. These things seem silly to me and dumb at the same time, but I really enjoyed it. This is the first time with this sort of kind of segment, I was like, yeah, Maxine, she's graduating, the ceremony. I felt it because I love the fact that they took a terrible gimmick that they originally gave to LA Knight. And they took that gimmick and said, okay, no, well, here's Maxine. Here's the female version of LA Knight or whatnot. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, let's just take her. Let's have her try to, bring Otis into, the Maximum Male Models. And then that just didn't work. And then it just kind of organically, they just pushed that off to the side and let her be part of Alpha Academy. And I feel like this is what Alpha Academy kind of needed. And, and I really love this trio here. And I love their chemistry. So this ceremony is awesome, but guess what? Ceremony comes to an end because we have the Viking Raiders come out as Maxine's getting her jacket, her AA jacket, and Valhalla takes it. So they got the jacket, and everyone's like, no, not the jacket. But the story shall continue. Shayna Baszler versus Emma. Real quick match. Shayna for the win over Emma. But here comes Ronda, and I got to tell you, I don't know why, but I got more excited than anything. I was like, oh, shit, these two are going to kick the shit out of each other. And they look stiff. Them takedowns and everything like that, just the way they're working. Because I think they're such good friends. And they have to play this, we hate each other angle. But, we also trust one another, so let's get physical. That's what we do. Let's get physical in this ring, and I think if it comes head-to-head at SummerSlam, this is going to be a real physical match. And I think they're going to probably tie it to a UFC type of gimmick type of style match. That's just my, a prediction of what's going to happen at SummerSlam with these two, but I want to see these two fight each other. I'm invested. Cody Rhodes comes out. Whoa, man, they sing that song, man. I want to do a meter. Whose is louder, the people who sings Jericho's song or the people who sings Cody's song? Like, it's just a crazy factor now. People are singing the entrance music to these guys, and it's awesome. It's awesome. But it's going to be Brock and Cody at SummerSlam. We don't know the stipulation, but we know it's a rubber match. And the fact that they use rubber match makes me feel good because I'm like, I know what that means because I love wrestling so much. Everyone's going to, but it's such an old school term. It's the rubber match. You win one, I win one, and now we settle it one last time to see who's the best. But Cody is not afraid of Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar better be afraid of Cody. That's all I'm saying. And I know Cody's going to get the win over Brock. It's inevitable because he wants to be next and he wants to be champion here in this company. The Miz versus Tommaso Ciampa, no DQ match. Fun match, great spots, tables and everything like that. But it was funny. I was just thinking before this. I was like, oh, yeah, he had this whole thing with Ciampa, before Ciampa left and got hurt a little bit. Then he had this thing with Bronson Reed for a little bit. And I was like, oh, I wonder what happened to him and Bronson Reed. They never really resolved that. Oh, here's Bronson Reed now, helping The Miz get a win. I think his first win this year. I think so. Yeah, he's got his first win this year. We're already halfway there. Oh, halfway there. Miz got tiny balls. Don't take my hand and get bigger balls. Oh, halfway there, Miz. Whatever. I love The Miz, though. But he got the win. Yay, Miz. And Liv, Raquel, and Chelsea and Sonya backstage. Rhea gets in Liv and Raquel's face and like, hey, don't get in my business, whatsoever. And I gotta tell you, this was the nail in the coffin for me, for Liv. I'm not afraid of you. We're not afraid of you. I'm like, you better be afraid of mommy. I'm sorry. I really want you to lose those tag team championships now to my girls. They went from being paired together and they made it work, and now they're a tag team that I respect and love. And I'm talking about Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. They had a match next versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, and they got the win in great heel fashion of what you need to do, and I loved it. I love these two. Like, they went from being like, oh, okay, man, Chelsea's just getting kind of thrown aside, and they took the ball and ran with it. Now they got a women's tag team championship match next week, and I hope they whoop Liv and Raquel's ass, and they get those championships because I feel these two deserve it for making themselves into a tight tag team unit. So that's next week. I cannot wait. I feel bad for Kaden Carter and Katana Chance because they haven't been given really a chance since they got up here. So, the same for Dawn and Fire. They kind of just got whisked away. So hopefully those two teams that came from NXT, they can get some more fire under them and get back to it. McIntyre and Matt Riddle backstage, celebrating the win. Byron comes and tries to interview him. And they're like, yeah, we got our problems. Matt Riddle's going to face Gunther next week. And Imperium's banned from ringside. McIntyre's like, are you sure about that? Because I can't be there. Why don't you wait? He goes, no. Riddle's like, I got this. And they're like, let's hit the town of Buffalo. And everybody's like, yeah. And Byron's like, yeah, me too. And they're like, not you. I'm like, oh, poor Byron. Seth freaking Rollins, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day, our main event, and man, it was banging. Oh, and that Miz and Tommaso Ciampa match was good too. It's like, there's some really good matches on tonight. The main event delivered on all levels. I'm very excited. What am I very excited for? Oh yeah, I just saw the match. How am I still very excited? God, KMB, think. It's that tequila. It's messing with my brain. Yeah. But no, great stuff with Rhea. There's a really cool, funny spot where Owens takes out everybody. And he's like, yeah, your boys are no good, blah, blah. The Rhea. And This is big for the Judgment Day. They started the show. They were in the middle of the show, and they ended the show showing that, hey, Triple H trusts the Judgment Day so much to where they're like, okay, now we don't need Bloodline. Now, Bloodline can stay on SmackDown exclusively until it hits a pay-per-view, and the Judgment Day is the story we're telling you here, because we're not done with Finn versus Seth. We got Damian looming in the background. We got Rhea with the championship. Dominic, slowly, but surely getting that great heat, and everything's clicking on all cylinders for the Judgment Day, and I fucking love it, man. And getting the pin over Sami Zayn, it's just these three in general. I want to see a tag team matches. I want to see Dominic and I want to see Damian go after those tag team championships and hopefully get those tag team championships. And can you imagine if they all had gold? Like, Bloodline status, yes. But in the sense of Rhea's got the women's, Finn's got the men's, they got the tag team championships. 3 championships all in one group. I'm like, please, wrestling gods, Triple H, let it happen. Let it happen. But there we go, man. I give this a solid 5. This was a good Raw. Like a good SmackDown, a good Raw, man. Then we had Collision with CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. Life is good to be a pro wrestling fan, man. Life is great. We got SummerSlam here coming up. Me and my wife's anniversary, because our first date was SummerSlam 2011, Punk versus John Cena, championship for championship. And SummerSlam holds a special place in my heart because of that, and she still watches with me to this day. She hasn't been watching lately, but with this whole Judgment Day stuff with Rhea, Dominic, because she loves Dom, and it's all just kind of like, it's all coming together again, and it always happens when SummerSlam rolls around, when she starts paying attention to storylines, which is fucking dope. And found out they're coming back to Glendale, Arizona, SmackDown on September 22nd. I gotta make it happen. So let's make this the goal. I'm already looking at tickets. I want to see those nWp shirts at the show in Glendale, Arizona in September 22nd. Let's meet up. Let's say hello. Let's say the New World Podcast, brother. September 22nd is coming up. Gonna be here faster than you know. Let's get tickets. Let's go rock and have a good time at a WWE SmackDown show. It'll be my first SmackDown. I've been to a WrestleMania. I've been to a Raw. I've been to a live show. So let's pop my SmackDown cherry, if you will. That's it. That's all. Like and subscribe. Share it with your grandma. Share it with your grandpa. Share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB the Sexy Ninja. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast where you can get that sweet shirt with the logo created by Penta X. And that's it. That's all. Remember, I'm KMB the Sexy Ninja. Did I already say that? God damn it. It's okay. It's the tequila, folks. It's making me go loco. And remember, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
I know you can beat Seth. I know you're going to be champion. Either way, it's covered.